Nice. Thanks, boys.
I'm pursuing the Canadian. Mega Man.
Can I get you all to look this way?
We're posing for photos and then we're going to do a panel. It's going to be fun. If someone could kill the generic PS3 music, that would be my favorite.
And then I remember when he did it, it was when he did that. I don't always play games.
Come on, professional. Hi everybody, welcome to the third panel up here at the Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo. Is everybody having fun today? Fun? That was a call out for fun. Someone's a big fan. We are up here at the YouTuber panel. We can YouTube and so can you too. I'm moderating tonight. My name's Tyler James Nickel. I'm gonna wow. No. That is pandering. I am joined with some heroes of YouTube here, which is why we are being filmed by no less than 4 cameras. So I look forward to later seeing this at very slightly different angles. I think we just run down the list here and have you introduce yourself, if that's all right.
Yeah, I go by the name Johnny Millennium on YouTube. I run the Happy Console Gamer Show with my good friend Robert Man. Robert Man, thank you.
I have very successfully followed his coattails to where we are today. I'm not sure where that is, but it's somewhere around here.
Hi, I'm Fraser. I'm representing 2 shows, Awesome Video Games and Video Games Awesome, and I'm here with my crew over there, Kyle and Becky and Deacon. Thank you.
I am Drunken Master Paul. Oh god, I got stalkers already. I'm part of the Middle Jesus Rocks podcast.
Right.
And I'm just proud to say that there's finally a venue for bald guys with wispy beards to get more attention than we have in the past. You and me, buddy.
Right here. When all of them take off the hats, you can see the projector better. It's amazing.
Can't stand the clean.
And I'm the Metal Jesus, and I have more hair than all these guys.
I hate you so much.
All right, so you folks do use the YouTubes successfully, one might say, which is not something everyone can do. A lot of people post videos, not everyone is getting those videos watched. So, and you know, there's could always be more viewers, but at the moment, you guys are holding a steady audience, is what I'm saying.
We comprise, I think, 90% of all YouTube views, actually. I just got the report.
So the other 10% is the cats, and
It's
then like
basically
an
cats
anomaly
and
of
skateboard videos.
statistics is the rest of us.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is, and not just gaming videos, all videos.
All
on the internet.
videos.
Yeah.
How-to videos. If I want to find out how to tie a bow tie, it's you playing video games in the background.
That's right.
It's come a long ways from guys getting hit in the nuts with a rake every 15 minutes.
We have now upped that to 10 minutes. And tips. Really, I hope for 5 by the next decade, and then we can just really keep that steady. So I'm just going to go down, because we've got the different spectrum here slightly, and I'm just going to ask, like, you know, when you first started in, was it with the intent of, like, obviously the intent of someone watching, but with the intent of, like, hey, I bet you a buck or two is going to fly along from here?
A buck or two?
A buck or two, or at least enough viewers to make it worthwhile to keep going.
Well, I guess when I came on YouTube, there wasn't actually that many people reviewing video games. There was actually a time like that. Now there's thousands of channels. But when I came on, I saw Awesome Video Games, I saw the Happy Video Game Nerd, and obviously, I was definitely influenced by the Angry Video Game Nerd. Everybody knows him, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Totally. And I was just, I loved what he did, and I just wanted to do, like, he was bashing games in an incredible way, and I loved that. But I wanted to talk about some games that I actually really loved and really cared about. And so we just kind of started, and it's funny, like when we started, I got my friends and family to subscribe. I think I had like 20 subscribers. I was going to work and say, hey, please subscribe, you know, this type of thing. And we came in, I think, at the right time. like, as I say, now there's thousands of channels. Everybody's trying to get noticed out there. It's really, I think it's a lot tougher. But that's kind of the humble beginnings for me on YouTube and all that. And then Rob came on the show, which was a great addition, the best addition, for sure, if you want to talk about that.
Well, I think what was incredible was I'd watched the first few videos and they were awesome. They were
very bad. They were very bad.
They were garbage, actually. It seemed like a really entertaining idea to share these stories that we've bandied back and forth forever. And so then he wanted to talk about Mega Man, and I've heard of him. So I figured maybe he'd ask me to talk about it a bit. And so I did the one episode, and the chemistry clicked. It just worked.
Totally.
And we've always been like that, though. That's the amazing thing here, is that this isn't something we've made happen. For all the time we've known each other, we've sat there reading magazines, drinking tea.
Before the internet, we just did playing retro games, drinking beer, smoking cigarettes, talking about what the next Zelda was.
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes. We quit a long time ago. That's all over. But yeah, so I think that's why the show became a little bit more fun. Is that it became just a couple of guys talking about games like everybody does, and I think people could relate to it. I think that's kind of the. I don't know. I'd like to think the success of the show for sure. So.
I'd also like to think that it's because it's not so much nuts and bolts. We don't review games. We don't. The controls are and the action. That's what music composed by. We share stories. This is our personal histories that we like to share because that's where the passion of gaming comes from. It's almost more about where you were in your life and what was going on and how amazing it makes you feel to remember those halcyon days, those golden days, sitting with that Nintendo controller and that music was as good as it was going to get. and you made it so special, and that's where I think the magic of our show comes from.
Yeah, that's definitely.
When I first started making videos, it was with the intent to make it my living. I didn't want to do anything else but create videos on my own.
And your library of video is staggering.
We just reached 2,000 recently.
Wow.
Yeah. The show, when I first started out, I started thinking, that a narrative with high production value would be my best bet. And it was a lot of fun. It was a sort of a throwback to the days of retro video game shows and tips and tricks shows where kind of like a Bill and Ted feel to it, where it's trying to elicit the feeling of when you were a kid and you're embarrassed about those days where you were just unbridled enthusiasm for video games and a lot of naivety towards them. Anyways, we had a great time with that for about 4 years, and it didn't make any money. And then we went into a sort of more modern show that's just basically a glorified Let's Play. You have to see it for it to know what it is, but regardless, that started making money, and now it's a full-time job for 3 people, and hopefully more as we go forward.
Which in a lot of times you can't even find 3 people in a room with a full-time job.
How many?
I don't have one. That's why I'm here wearing a big clothes suit.
That's good. For those who don't know, I met Paul, Drunken Master Paul, here while working in the 90s at a company called Sierra Online. And right there. So,
If you're being broke, you talk to us. If we told you to update your drivers, then we hung up.
we're actually very thrilled people even remember Sierra Online. And so I was actually surprised when searching around on YouTube that you wouldn't find a lot of videos about those classic games like King's Quest and Leisure Suit Larry was out at the time.
Would be the first time we shared a microphone.
Awkward.
For you.
But anyways, so I wanted to kind of keep Sierra's history alive and also make some videos. Typically when you walk into my house, it seems like we play in a band, and so I'm always filming, and we thought we'd throw it up on YouTube and see what happens, and it's kind of fun. So that's our story, right?
Well, basically, yeah. He started these videos just for the love of the games and to show off this history that people weren't talking about, the PC games, the Sierra games. It started a lot of especially the adventure series, which of course what Sierra was known for. And then we've been goofing off together for a long time. He said, you should join my channel and just be a silly monkey and goof off and add some personality, which frankly it was lacking quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got involved with this whole thing. I'm still a silly monkey. I don't know crap about console games.
You definitely have the best name on YouTube, Metal Jesus Rocks. Unbelievable.
I love it.
I just wonder how many people are coming across that with the intent of like, all right, I need old PC games. I'm just gonna type in Metal Jesus Rocks and see what. Damn, top of the list. I nailed it. That's fantastic. The crossover, the Venn diagram I'm saying is a circle of people searching for us. Now, as people who live on YouTube, I'm gonna go right to my favorite point of YouTube, which is commenters. Because as we know, everyone who comments on YouTube is a sane, thoughtful, compassionate individual
Over 13.
who is trying to make the community grow and trying to encourage others in that growth. And I just wonder are there any anomalies you ever find where it's just the most hate-filled sewage spewed at you in verbal form? How do you react when that happens? Do you brush it off or do you hyper-focus?
No, we never see anything like that. It's all joy and unicorns and rainbows. And you guys are great.
Well,
And I'm looking through your bedroom window late at night when you're sleeping.
again, you're so creepy.
We had a really good one. One of the first episodes we did with Drunken Master Paul.
Yeah.
Somebody kept commenting that, dude, alcoholism isn't funny. You shouldn't make fun of that. You shouldn't be making fun of alcoholics. And we're like, maybe you should just shut up and go to a meeting or something. You didn't really get the point here, did you? We're not making fun of it. I just enjoy drinking every now and again. By the way, the beer of the night is the Sleeman Cream Ale, which if I had not actually seen this, I thought somebody was sending me something really dirty. Hey, you want to go for a Sleeman Cream Ale? Is it going to cost me $20? What?
I think what you have to remember about comedy that a lot of people on YouTube find too is that everything is funny except for that one thing that personally happened to them, and that's never funny. And how dare you?
We recently had a commenter. We were playing through Heavy Rain, and we made light of. We took a piss on the whole game. Of course, we love the game, but
Which seems appropriate to the title.
yeah. And at one point near the beginning, we are making light of the fact that he lost his son and he can't get over it. And we just like, come on, move on, have another son. Somebody commented in the comments, said, I can't believe they would make such light jokes about losing a child, and that's ridiculous that they would actually think that. We think a lot of things on the show if you want to take every joke literally.
Yeah. I remember after that joke, you had it notarized, and there was a witness who signed under the joke saying, like, this is truly what we believe.
We try to get everything notarized if we can. Yeah.
It's really labor intensive to get all these jokes notarized.
Well, recently, actually, there was, and I think it was on your Facebook wall.
Okay, yeah.
A comment that had been made with a friend of ours, Jeff.
Hey, hi, Jeff.
And so I do believe it was something along the lines of, is the show going to change?
Oh yeah, because there was we do a podcast every week, The Alternate Gamers, and I guess Jeff was asking, saying, is there going to be a change, because we were doing some advertisements for some company, and I said, yeah, we're going to start murdering babies now. I'm writing to a friend of mine. I said, it's a joke. And some guy made a video saying, calling out the happy console gamer. And how dare he talk about children that way, and blah, blah, blah. He made like his own separate video on YouTube for this. And I was just like, this is my Facebook wall, what are you doing on it? Like, why is this like noteworthy? But, it's strange that people would put you on a pedestal as though you're not allowed to, joke around with your friends. That's exactly what we did, so.
Actually, I do need to address that, because as the father of 2 children, both of which are toddler infantation, I'm offended. I am disgusted. And I'm leaving.
Can I try to one up?
Yeah, it's over. No, I also agree. How dare you have not killed Rob Main's child by now?
Oh my God.
You don't make a promise like that and not follow your business partners.
You haven't tried very hard. Honestly,
Can I
horrible.
give you one of my Hall of Famer of the vitriol? It's blue though. Is that okay with everybody? Everyone. One of our favorite commenters of all time that tried to slam us was that he said we have it on our Facebook. He said. This is gayer than 8 guys blowing 9 guys. And he has become one of our favorite people of all time. Sometimes it becomes endearing how much
Dude, if you don't have that on a t-shirt on your side.
People requested it to be on a t-shirt. It's just, The coup de grace.
What
Internet
I find
trolling.
funny about people who, obviously a lot of them are trolls just trying to get the attention, but some of these people are the best comedians you will ever find.
Yeah, and that's where you have to be like, do I congratulate him?
Yeah,
That was
like-
good.
Yeah.
Like,
But-
I'm on the YouTube channel Mega Steak Man, and we made a video called Pokemon Apocalypse, which is
Freaking amazing, by the way. Incredible.
someone reviewed it just by watching it and just go, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. And I'm like, this is the best thing YouTube has ever done. So we shut the channel down, guys. We're done. Like, this is, we will never surpass a guy just angrily watching a Pokemon trailer. And that's the thing. Like, I think stuff like that kind of pushes creative types more of when the negative is always easier to get more attention than the positive. You can have like 80 people on your wall saying like, that was a great episode, but the one guy who's saying like, I hope that you have to wear your own ass as a hat. You're like, that is awesome.
And that's actually my second point I wanted to, like, no matter how much you want to respond to some of the negative comments, I think it's important to, you can still sometimes, but it's important to make a rule for yourself that you always respond more often to, that the ratio is at least 10 to 1 for responding to positive comments than to negative ones, because it's not fair to reward the negative comments with a response from you when you have so many fans out there who wish you would talk to them. And that's just my last point.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good not to comment on the negativity, you know, just like, that's what they want. And then that's the biggest thing we all know about trolls is they want you to respond.
Yeah.
They want you to be upset. And I think the thing is when you're on YouTube for as long as us, you really build up a thick skin that nothing really bothers you anymore. So it's like, you read these comments, like when I saw this guy make that video, you know, calling out the Happy Console Gamer because, you know, what a terrible guy, he hates children. I just kind of looked at it and I was laughing and I was so sad for him as a person. For me, it didn't bother me. You know, I know I'm like absolutely kidding.
It was me, I'm sorry. And you do hate children.
Yeah, I started just commenting back, be like, you must be so tired. I was like, to hate everything that often.
It's way tougher to be you than for me to be me, buddy.
Which kind of brings me to the next thing I wanted to ask you guys, which is for fandom. Like a large part, you make the video and post it up there, but to keep it going, like most of the job has to be on the back end of it, of making sure people are watching it, making sure people are commenting and engaging with it. And you find that like it's a very intensive job that's also hard to pinpoint if you're doing correctly. Because you don't know if you're like, I said hi to that guy, so we're good now. Like, what do you have any specific ways that you try to go about that?
You just, you gotta be exhaustive with it. I don't think there is any real quantitative way to tell if you're doing it right or not, but I think honesty is the best. If you honestly want to engage with your community and get to know them, then that's probably the best way to go about it. And that is, I think, the #1 priority for an internet YouTube show, especially when starting out new. Engage your viewers. As a small show, especially, you should be engaging them because you can cultivate that small community into a really true personal experience for them. And the stronger those viewers become, they're going to be your #1 promoters for your growth going forward.
Well, I think it's also, I mean, these people are taking the time out of their busy lives to express positivity and thanks for what you do. And I mean, certainly in my case, because I do very little aside from yak at a camera, John does everything. He really, he brings the show to life. He does all the hard work. But when people take the time to send you a message, say thanks, or really liked your video, or things like that, as much as you can, say thanks back. Even if it's just like a hey, thanks, or cheers, or a something, because that's really an amazing thing that someone enjoys. A fat, bald, married guy who played a lot of Nintendo and likes to talk about it, and then says, "You're cool." And you validate my existence.
That's a ticker tape parade in the YouTube world. Like,
Yeah.
yes.
And that's the thing with our show is I think we've responded back to everybody who's ever sent us a message on Facebook or on Whoa.
I'll just keep talking from on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. No? Is that what you want?
Be it, yeah, on whatever. There we go.
But I think we've responded back to everybody, except the guy with the dead baby thing. That's never responded.
But now we have.
But now we have. In a much more fun way.
Well, I think a huge part of it too is when I was with Sierra, I also was moved back to. Anybody remember a gaming site called OneNet? See, nobody. It was actually a great initiative, but just poorly executed, which was kind of Sierra the old days. But something that was really interesting is that when you have an online community, there's always a separation. I mean, they're just on the other side of a computer screen, so we get really cynical, and they didn't really care that they were humans. So one thing that's really cool about this and about expos like this and guys like these on the panel is it's really important and really cool to get out here and actually see you guys and meet you in person and see that passion in person, because we get it in the comment fields, but it's not the same as when we're walking and go, hey, we love these games. It's that common theme and being people and showing what you want to do.
Yeah. I actually sent, when I first started my channel and someone subscribed, for the first 1,000 people, I sent them a personal message, just to make sure that they knew I was very
And like in one sitting?
Wow. But that was my goal, is that if you subscribe to my channel, up to the first 1,000 people, I sent them a personal message.
Yeah, I did that too.
It was really important for me to thank everyone.
And I think the big part about the internet too is you can't tell the tone of voice in which something is delivered. So when someone's like, that's a cool video game, you don't know if they're like, that is a cool video game. But like when you get to go out to events like this and actually see a person come up to you and be like, oh man, like you like the same thing I like, and we have this instant connection, and it's like finding a friend online that you're like, later I will address that friend. I have this friend who will talk to me every so often, but later this friend and I are going to hang out. So
Yeah, when you get a message like, Drunken Master Paul, you're sick. I don't know what tone that is. It could be, you're sick! Or, you're sick.
Dr. Feinstein, I told you this is an inappropriate forum to tell me this. Please phone call, text message, and stop on the YouTube wall.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Yeah.
And you know, actually, with that in mind as well, I think this would be an excellent opportunity to thank Brian from Game Deals and all of you guys for making the first Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo happen, for making it awesome, and for helping us make sure it happens every damn year.
The first one's pretty good.
Yeah, when he first told me he was going to make this event, I said, that's adorable. And then I figured out how much of it I could push my face onto. And from the poster up, I've managed pretty well so far. I was really on it. So.
Every pie.
Everything. Yeah. Try the pie, is what I'm saying. We can open up, you want questions? You want any? Sure, let's open up. Sure.
We have videos too.
Oh, we have videos. Videos first or questions first? Let's make it a sandwich. Let's make it a question video sandwich with the video as a sweet, delicious meat. All right.
That would be Metal Jesus.
Metal Jesus?
We call him sweet, delicious meat.
Oh, wow. That's like creepy. Is that like your folk rock name?
Just met me?
We're not in the basement anymore. There's people here.
This is why we
I don't know how to take that.
This is why we can't have nice things.
That's not the first time you've said that, I'm sure.
All right. So let's open it up to questions. We got one right in the front row there.
All right, so Tim Schafer started out this Kickstarter project to get a new adventure.
That's not going anywhere. Come on.
I'm just wondering what you all think of it so far, what's been announced.
Number one, I'm a huge Tim Schafer fan. I've loved everything he's done. Two, fingers are crossed for another Grim Fandango. Sweet God! And three, I think it was a brilliant move because it's proving that a lot of the sort of preconceptions the game industry has these days about what genres are and are not viable, which ones are and are not dead, it's showing that a lot of them are wrong. It doesn't always have to be an FPS or a big budget AAA title to make money, and he's just proven that. Point-and-click adventures, 2D games, hand-drawn art are still alive. We're all here to prove that. And I think that he's doing an amazing thing, and I wish him all the best of luck, and I'll be buying a copy the day it comes out.
Yeah, I would agree. Just this week they announced that Brian Fargo, who created the original Wasteland and also the original Fallout, is doing another Kickstarter event where he's going to make Wasteland 2. So that, if you're an old school D&D RPG fan, that's pretty big news. It's kind of cool to be able to bring that back when most publishers wouldn't even touch it.
Yeah, I think it's been a really cool resurgence of stuff too, just with that ability, like, to find their fans that are still out there and be like, now that you've grown up and found what money is, send some back and let's have some fun again.
Money?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, thanks.
It's that digital thing that you exchange for products on Amazon.
This is a question that's kind of breaker. How did you get the ideas for both of your shows, like Awesome Video Games and Video Games Awesome?
Awesome Video Games, the idea came from, well, the desire to make videos for the internet came first, and then I had to come up with a subject. And we actually tried out another thing first, which was like sort of a Three's Company parody that just had all gay men instead of one gay man. Was it? No, he was straight, the original. It was bad. Anyways, then the idea of awesome video games just was like a secondary thing. I thought it'd be fun we like Nintendo, and we like Bill and Ted and Wayne's World, so we just kind of parodied that and threw it together, and it was, we wrote it as we shot it. So it was very organic. But then Video Games Awesome came about because we shot a DVD commentary for Awesome Video Games, and we liked the way that we were able to sit in front of a camera on a couch and just kind of, it felt comfortable. And it was what we always do all the time, and just kind of, joke around. And then I realized how easy it was to make, and that it could probably actually make me money by being able to make videos constantly, and that's what we did.
I find it very relatable just to watch you guys play the games, and Video Games Awesome. That's why I like to watch it so much, because like everybody does that, so you just sit down and watch them play.
Thank you. That's what we were trying to get at. You were on Facebook. You're saying you're going to be here, weren't you?
Yeah, my name is Sarah.
Sarah. I wish I'd said Sarah now. I didn't have the guts to guess it if I got it wrong.
Yeah, I think that's part of the appeal of your show too, is that like the friends aspect of it is hanging out with your buddies. It's kind of the Mystery Science Theater thing. It's like, hey, that's what we do, except they're doing it to a slightly better degree, of which our talents allow. So let's watch them.
Which makes it our biggest challenge, I think, for the show, is maintaining freshness among our group, is because that is kind of our hook, is the dynamic that we have among each other, because we aren't just a few hosts that a company brought together to play video games and put together a show like some YouTube channels have been doing recently. We actually are buddies, and so that's, try not to get sick of each other is what we have to be careful of.
And a cool part of that is it's like when I've watched other videos as well, it's like you're doing what I love, so it's almost like I'm hanging with new friends.
Yeah.
Watch them do what we do, just hanging out and playing games, and look, these guys are too. And so I'm not feeling so alone.
I try not to piss off too many people with my opinions.
Give up with that, man. Just piss
try
them
to be
off.
relatable.
Yeah, just go for it. Piss them off. Give up on that train.
I find part of the problem with that too is trying not to in-joke yourself to death, because it's like, once you find something that works, once you find a hook that goes forward, you want to just like, all right, well, let's just run with that joke, because that is guaranteed fodder right there. But you have the effort put into keeping something fresh and keeping something moving along is actually significantly more than most people think you'd have to put into it. Do we have more questions? You indicate with a hand. It's like grade school.
Just across the board, which do you find is more appealing to audiences? Maybe you like a game, you lavish praise on it, or if you hate a game, you just rip it apart?
So that's a good one. For those of you who couldn't hear, what gets more attention, loving a game or hating a game?
That's a good question, because before I put up every video, I'm nervous because you never know how the audience is going to react. Are they going to love it? Are they going to hate it? You never actually going to know. And we always talk about games that we absolutely love to death, like that's our big thing on the show. But I recently did an episode on games that I hated, and that was a really unusual one. And I put a positive spin on it, but I thought everybody was going to think I'm, bashing on games and stuff like that. But it's been actually, in recent memory, the most popular episode I've had. So I might do a sequel to that in the future. But it's kind of strange. You never know how a video's going to play to your audience. So. Yeah.
I watched that video and I did halfway through say, you chipper son of a bitch, because just every single game is like, I hate this game. Now here's why it's awesome. And I'm like, God bless you.
That's the thing. I didn't want to do I wanted to do my spin on a game that I didn't like, and the Angry Video Game Nerd, he does his thing, which is absolutely awesome. But my thing was just to do it on games that I don't like, but you secretly do like. Me and Rob would talk about games that we hated, and he'd say, oh my God, remember the amazing music in that? Remember how much we hated it? It was kind of funny.
And that's another thing, is that somehow, just the way that our personalities run, even if it's something we absolutely hate, it becomes nostalgic. Because you hated it, but it was at a good time in your life where you could enjoy hating and make it fun. So,
I think the important thing to remember with video games is that people love them, and that even though we like to rail on video games occasionally and rant, it must be kept in mind that the reason your audience is there is because they love video games, and that's the core fundamental principle that you have to... And the other thing, I guess, is to remember that there are people behind the video games, and that not to get too personal with attacks on a video... The best example I can come up with is Duke Nukem. We recently played on the show, and we went into it total fanboys. Like, we were so excited. We made this big thing coming up to the show. We were thinking it was going to be one of our biggest, most amazing episodes. And you could see throughout the show, from beginning to end, it went from elation to just this dejection. We were just like slouched and tired and sad. And but at the same time, we actually had some viewers who worked on the game as well. And it was important to keep in mind as we went forward with our criticisms that there were people that poured a large amount, Duke Nukem especially, a large amount of their life into it. And it isn't necessarily their fault. Like, they probably did their very best on their component of the game. And I dislike reviewers who go kind of spew vitriol at a game to a point where it's not with James. James is comedic, and he doesn't mean anything personally. You can tell he doesn't mean personally against the creators of the game. But I think that's my point. It's just that you can't make it too acidic or, you know, horrible. And that's it. Yeah.
I think for us, we like to show a bunch of positivity on our show and energy, and we also like to be respectful as well, because we did work in the gaming industry, and so and we're still friends with several of those people, especially on Facebook, and so but we also don't try to take on games that are easy targets either. So
yeah, one thing I liked about your channel before I even joined it was anytime you made a negative comment, you always backed it up. It was like a factual thing. Like you'd say, I don't like this about the game and here's why.
Yeah.
It wasn't just this game sucks because then you're a commenter on YouTube.
Yeah, that's so easy to do too. Like this game sucks.
It's easy.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
For example, Superman 64. Go. No, just being fair.
Best game ever.
Yeah, there we go.
I like rings. I like flying. Good game.
If you could combine the two in a single level, that would be amazing. Do you want to do any setup on any particular videos that we might have ready, so that we can? Do we have one from everybody?
That's a rumor.
That's a rumor.
Yeah,
I think people might like videos if they started clapping and hollering.
Yeah. I think hammered some things in my
That's pretty good clapping and hollering, but I'd really like them to do it with the power to make people downstairs wonder what the hell's going on. A little more. That was more. I like that better. That's good. Do we have stuff queued up that we might be able to do? We're trying.
What are we starting with?
Who are we starting with? Well, let's start from the end and work back.
All right.
To me, the most important person here on this side.
That one.
Do that one.
We'll tuck our heads down.
Little Jesus, I'm back again, and we're going to be heading down to Longview, Washington to see and meet up with John Hancock.
The immortal John Hancock, who did actually sign the Declaration of Independence, and I believe was the inspiration for the Twilight films, because I think he's a vampire.
He could be, but he's got an awesome video game collection. And this time, though, you know, we've upgraded our car.
We have upgraded the wheels. Drunken Master Paul, retro car. Dodge Challenger. I'm so stoked about this car. I'm kind of a retro guy, love the muscle cars, just got my new wheels, and we are going to haul ass down Longview faster than we ever have before.
Let's get this bitch on the road.
Let's hit it!
Well, we are in John's Room of Doom, man. I love this place. It's awesome. And I've asked you to pull out some of the retro games that you have, some of the more unusual stuff. I feel like, you know, we came down this retro car. Let's just keep the theme going. And you have some really interesting and valuable stuff here that a lot of people just don't get to see.
Yeah, first thing is Sega CDX. And the Sega CDX was kind of a later release. Sega made a small, compact version of the Sega CD and the Sega Genesis into one tiny device. It was quasi-portable. I mean, you still needed a TV to play it on, but it actually could run off batteries. And it kind of doubled as a portable CD player and a game system. And it was $300 to $400 when it came out, depending on where you bought it. And I saw them at the warehouse back in the day. Of course, I didn't have the money. And that's the system.
It's so small. No, it does CDs and cartridges.
Yes, cartridge port there. Batteries there.
Wow.
Controller ports has a nice. It's metal on top. Nice, nice hinge there. Hinge opening. And a nice display right there. With display, can I tell you if it's open or if it's reading or not. These guys are pretty hard to find working. You know, just saying CDs in general are going up in value. And this is kind of the one everybody sought after because, you know, a lot of collectors play their games and it doesn't take a lot of space on the shelf. And so, you know, a lot of these, you know, second, third generation of the same unit, smaller, sleeker, everybody likes that one because, you know, they can have 2 or 3 game systems in the same space on the shelf.
Okay, well that's great, but what the hell is this?
Well, I know a little bit about it. What I do know is that it's Hong Kong and it came out in the 70s. And that's about it.
And I know that this gun would not fly today on the shelf at Target.
Check out that sucker eats.
I don't know if you addressed it a little bit later, but the Channel F controllers physically could not look more phallic. If people want to go back and search that console, that is astounding. That's more challenging than the gun, I find.
Oh, they were lonely, lonely creatures.
Do we have the next one want to set up there?
Sure. This video shows, it's an abridged episode of the first in our series of Punch Out episodes for Awesome Video Games, which is the first show that I talked about. There was like a Bill and Ted video game throwback thing, and then it ends with our more, the show that we're doing now.
I'm Chet. And I'm Ace. Today on Awesome Video Games, it's a right jab, it's a left hook, it's an uppercut, it's Mike Tyson's punch out. That's right, dudes and dudettes. Today, we're going to meet the ultimate challenge. You got it, bro. We're going to be squaring off against the world champion Mike Tyson. But do you really think you can beat him at his own game? This is Mike Tyson's punch out. Have faith, Ace. With a little training and a lot of heart, I just know we can make it to the dream bout and become World Video Boxing Association champion! Yeah! In Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, you play Little Mac, a 17-year-old fighter from the Bronx. Little Mac loves nothing better than a tough challenge. That's right, Ace. Little Mac's story began when he met Doc Lewis. But chance! Doc Lewis, an ex-heavyweight, was a famous hard hitter in the U.S. around 1954. He became Little Mac's trainer, teaching him everything there is to know.
This script is everything right off the box in an instruction manual.
One day, a champion is born.
Boys, that story sounds more watery than my knee.
Parents will never get it. Got that right, Joe.
What time is it?
It's 7 o'clock.
PM, and you are not Corey Hart. You have neither the charisma nor the poise. I wear my tinted spectacles in the evening so I can read the period. My, the gentleman's game of boxing. And it's got that delightful chubby chase in it. Straight off the set of Saturday Night Live Fever.
Yeah, Dad, it's an awesome video game. You got that right. It's Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Well, just be sure to do your chores. Or I'll be back to punch you out.
Well, what are we waiting for then? Beat some game! says, how do you do it? Well, Chad, using my Nintendo Entertainment System controller, I pressed a variety of buttons, including these two right here, and this one.
Any advice for the kids at home?
Don't overthink it.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The words of a champion. What lies next for Awesome Ace? Who will be his next opponent?
I think you mean next victim, Chad.
Ladies and gentlemen, Von Kaiser! Okay, guys, come on in. Check out my new room. Oh, cool!
It's the first episode of our.
Oh, hi. Welcome to our new show. This is called Video Games Are Awesome. Well, I'm working on a tagline. It's like, welcome to Video Games Awesome. Why? Because they are.
Oh.
Who? These guys over here.
Oh.
What? Awesome video games.
Oh, bacon.
Ah, he didn't drop any.
I'm a wear my combs all night long.
What does that mean when you're playing poker with a group of men?
Oh, man.
Welcome back to Video Games Awesome Live. We are doing the Stanley Cup. We're trying to determine who's going to win the real life series by simulating it in NHL 2011.
Spoilers, the real one didn't turn out that well.
I'm glad the Invincible shirt didn't go away. I'm glad that's still
I strongly recommend that you do not mention this when you encounter Zelda.
Wow.
Dude, I'm excited. I was blown away when I saw that title. This is only what the draw distance will show us. There's so much more. See, Becky's a dragon.
Yeah.
Ben.
When Bowser did 54 guys.
That was an hour and a half live with 2,000 people watching.
I want to go to bed now.
And that is how a baby.
High five.
You folks certainly seem to be engaged with the entertainment, and I think that's really the selling point of that.
Yeah, and that was put together by a viewer actually. That whole thing over in I panicked and a dude named Kemp. Thank you if you're watching this. Gave you like 3 hours to do it. Thank you.
That's awesome. I always love stuff like that. You find it online, you're like, oh hey, there's a video I did, just re-edited to the Inception theme for some reason. But you know what? Try some of that today.
Run with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we started the show 3 years ago, I knew that we could actually do a show. I was very confident about that, and we were having fun doing that. And then we hit about 5,000 subscribers, and we were just blown away by that fact. And so what we wanted to do was create a movie, and a movie with me and Rob, and an adventure that we get into one summer. And 3 years later, it's been a lot of work, and it's just like a bunch of friends on a weekend getting together, putting this thing together. It's taken us about 3 years, and I have about 2 months more of editing to go. And I put up the trailer, but nobody's actually seen anything of this movie besides Rob and Kim. That's about it. So I'm really excited to show a little bit, about a minute and a half, and I'll do a little bit of a build up to it. Is that me and Rob were trying to get to a place, and we're getting chased by some bad guys who are wanting the same thing that we want. And there's also another guy in there, Brian Milne, actually, and he's actually following us as well. So it's just a bit of a race. It starts off with a car chase, and we're going to start right in the middle of the car chase. And Randy, so to
recap, there's some people going to a place for a thing.
I don't want to ruin it.
Is that the working title?
The
spoiler-free explanation is people going to a place for a thing at that time where the stuff happens.
Yeah, the title of the film is Proper Noun.
So I'll let it play right in the middle. Randy, please.
Say any harder than it's going right now. Well, it better get faster.
Situation does not appear under control. Collect the merchandise. This is so strange.
I think we lost him. Yeah, I think so. What the fuck is that? A fucking helicopter? We got fucking guns,
Yeah, I know.
We're not too much further, are we?
No, it's just over here. We gotta hurry, man.
Got my own fucking gun right here. I can do it.
Let's go! Let's go!
The gun! The gun!
Fuck the gun! Go!
And that's all we got so far.
You do know about $1.50 to the swear jar. So
I know, it's funny. But I want to say, we got the Sega Master System gun. I killed an assassin early in the movie, and I took that weapon off him, so that's why I actually pulled it out of the end. That's why I can just have it. So, anyways, that was it.
Don't believe him. This guy's packing all the time, and he will blind you with that thing.
So we have about 10 minutes left, which I think is enough time for 2 questions. Let's say 2 questions. There's one way in the back there in the Van City shirt. Shout it.
Just wondering if maybe, especially for awesome video games, how do you guys manage the intellectual property rights for the games, especially for the ones that we saw, we had extended music from Punch-Out, and it's not really a review. Just wondering if you've ever had anything from that.
Yeah, it's a fair use law. I'm not sure if it's been defined in Canada, but in America, fair use is a transformative work. So as long as you're parodying and that the creation that you've made can't negatively affect the business of the original work, then it's fair use. It's an extremely gray area of the law that nobody is there's barely any precedent set in courts either. It never goes to court because companies are smart enough not to, I guess, unless, well, that's speaking highly of them. Viacom is stupid enough to take down Angry Nintendo Nerds videos, even though, because they owned him, you know how he's on game trailers, they took down his channel for using their videos, and it took them like a week to get it back up. So it's like a shoot first, ask questions later on the internet, but we've never run into any trouble with that, and it is in the legal green light for what we do.
Anybody else have trouble with review stuff? Anyone being contacted before about reviews?
No, our stuff's so old that nobody even has.
The only thing I've run into is with the new show, with Video Games Awesome. I think that Kanye West's The Power, when we were playing Saints Row the Third, even though it's a part of the game, and I guess we didn't talk over it enough during one of the scenes, and that got flagged. And so did Bonnie Tyler's Need a Hero got flagged during Saints Row. So the thing that we do now is when we hear like, you know, record label type stuff, we talk loudly over it, like, or we just keep on talking. That's not hard for us.
Well, Kanye is such a level-headed guy, you know.
I like the picture that he personally flagged it. Oh, hell no.
Yeah. He's like, listen, your video is really good, all right?
I'm gonna let you finish your video, but I got something to say here.
I was gonna say, we are very careful about it on our channel, and typically whenever I'm gonna capture gameplay footage, I actually turn off the music, so I don't even have to worry about it. And then most of the music in my videos is my own, so, and I just get around it that way. And then every time you submit a video, it always asks you about copyright information. I have a cut and paste thing that I put in there, and so far, I haven't been dinged on, so.
Cool. All right, I guess we have one more. Which one was?
He's even got a guy.
He's pointing slowly at the serve bot face, and I think that's kind of what disturbs me the most. Go serve bot.
I have, it's not a question, more or less, I'm giving half your shit.
Half of people are getting.
Oh, he's just giving us stuff.
I believe he's delivering goods. We can receive goods.
We could probably take.
Is it also going to be service because they can't get the camera angle below the table?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Presents. We have presents. That's chili and cheese loaded ruffles, what every young gaming boy needs to grow up really strong.
Thank you.
Is this the point at which we say we can't keep
Raspberry
That's
cola.
some cherry cola.
Cherry.
I accept delivery of cherry cola.
That's not so much a question as a comment.
Yeah.
No?
My favorite game, Hero for the Atari 2600.
There you go.
That is fantastic.
And you got Yangas here from Final Fantasy VIII, which is awesome. And yeah, go blimey, mate. And the demo disc of Final Fantasy VIII. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Can I just say one more thing?
Of course.
Alright, my name is Ryan, but as most happy console gamer fans know me, I am Public Enemy #1, or the Red Bandana Guy.
No, you're the guy that slapped Rockman in the video.
Yes.
He came up and slapped Rockman on the head. So
Alright, for anybody who didn't understand, it was a joke, and with these 4 cameras and the rest of you as my witness.
Honestly, this became so big. Everybody's like, "Who's that asshole?"
Did it really?
It's huge, yeah. Who's that asshole? Rockman on the head.
Okay, well, first of all, I totally wasn't offended because it was a joke. Second of all, I laughed really hard about it.
People didn't like it.
And no worries, man. That was, and thank you very much. Wow, this is.
I'm gonna take one of his cherry cokes.
For anyone that got upset about that on my behalf, thank you for your concern. But seriously, I've got a pretty thick skull, and I'm pretty sure, like Homer Simpson, I got about an extra inch of fluid around my brain, so I'm okay. I'm okay.
What I suppose is the point of this whole thing is it's a shame there's not more fan interaction for all of you. I'm just saying you really got to branch out there. Don't be afraid to meet people. Maybe have them bring you snacks on stage. That's okay. Go ahead, get that. And
I don't need dinner now. I'm good.
yeah, you're gonna die soon.
Thank you.
So everyone watch the video so you can, because we'll do one more question really quick. Going in the middle over there.
Okay. I've been putting off making a YouTube channel for over a year, and the reason why is because I don't really feel like I can meet the level of quality that I aspire to.
Yeah.
I don't have the money for the right equipment, and I certainly don't have the editing know-how. Most people that I've talked to have said, like, well, just get your feet wet, that's the best way to go. If you have passionate about what you're talking about, that's going to make the best content. But we've all skipped past videos because there was a bad mic, or there was bad lights. We've all given videos like 30 seconds and said, hey, this quality really isn't that great. And I worry when I put together my own videos that I'm that guy now. So my question to you really is, I do feel like if I can, have passion and make good content, then it will be successful. But because it's going to take a while to get things going, what can I really do to kind of maximize the fact that I'm new at this? And what are some of the major wonders that I can try to avoid as a new channel?
Learn by failing. That it helps a lot. If you started to start out and then just keep doing it wrong until you can start doing it right, because no one watches the early videos.
Find someone that's just as passionate as you are that already has all the stuff.
Oh my god. Find some coattails and install handles.
Well, I've got a 4-point harness on the middle of this coattails.
No, they're great.
But if you don't have the right equipment and all that, the best thing to do is do a show that you're happy watching. Like at the end of the day, you'll be watching it more than anybody else. You know, so definitely do that. What else would I say? Definitely talk to the community, comment on other videos, and just find your own groove. I remember when I started the show, I thought my show sucked, and it did. And I think it took me a long time to find my groove, and I think it took me about 60 episodes to find my groove. But you know, don't worry about starting and failing, because I started and failed for sure. And every episode I do, I'm still worried about. I don't feel 100% confident. I do what I kind of believe in, and I hope other people like it. And you got to kind of have a look at it that way. It's not having the best high definition camera. It's not having the best audio. But if you're original and you really believe in what you're doing, I think you can find your own way. Absolutely.
I would also say too is that when it comes to equipment, sometimes your cell phone actually is surprisingly good. I actually shot an entire episode with an iPhone 4. And it's amazing how good that thing looks. I was actually shocked. And so I would also say that the other thing I do with my videos is every single episode I actually run it past my wife. I hand her the laptop, and she's not really a hardcore gamer, and so she gives me very realistic feedback. And I watch her, and if her eyes are drifting or if she's checking her email, I gotta go back. You know what I mean? I gotta go back and edit some more. So find somebody that you can kind of run your videos past, and that'll get you a long ways.
And also, speak about what you know. Because the most obvious thing people will know is if you're trying to fake a review, if you've read a couple of quick facts and a Wikipedia page, and then you're running up in front of the camera going, so this is all the stuff I know. They'll notice. But if it's something you know about, it's something that's inherent to you, something you really love, that passion shines better than the best HD camera. You just share that enthusiasm, and that energy will come right on back.
I should say that you have the right attitude in thinking about production value because it is important. You don't need to have, like they were saying, you don't need to have the best, but it should be something that you can stand watching yourself, and audio is extremely important as well. The thing with production value is that it's an investment, and if you really are serious about the show, if this is going to be something that you plan to make money off of, or if it's just something that you want to be your hobby, I think that you'll probably eventually start to find the money to start to pour into it to get the production value that you think is adequate. And with that attitude, you'll probably know when that moment hits. But I'd say one of the most important parts about production quality is that it will get you noticed not only by the people, like, you know, the regular viewer can spot production quality whether they know it or not, but more importantly, I'd say, is the potential platforms that you could end up on because you got the right attention of, like, a site such as, you know, we got our start on Screw Attack, or like there's that guy with the glasses, places like that. They're the ones who, when they see production quality, you may not have the views, but if you have the production quality, they're going to recognize it and think that they can give you that extra little boost. And that's why you should care. And you do, I can tell. Just find the money and look. And you're lucky that you're getting into it now in some ways, because you can get some really amazing stuff for quite cheap, relatively cheap compared to what we started with.
And I'll just chime in for the last bit here. Is everything these guys said is exactly spot on. But you've got the starting point is the passion for it. The production value will come. Okay, use what gear you have. I took a filmmaking class from, I don't know if any of you recognize this name, and I'm not making it up. His name is Dove Siemens, and he does a filmmaking class, and he's the guy who taught Quentin Tarantino. And I took a weekend seminar on it, and he was spot on. He said, you start with passion, you start with a great script, and you keep it simple. Don't let your reach exceed your grasp. So you've got the gear you got, sit down, do a video. And it can be, I would rather watch somebody with passion with a still camera and no cuts than somebody who's doing a bunch of flash and stuff that's boring. You have the passion, you got it already. Don't let that stop you. Just go, do it, make the mistakes. Don't be afraid to fail, because in this media, you can fail over and over for a certain definition of fail. But the passion is there. You're going to learn it. You're going to get to the point where you're feeling right. You're going to get to the point, take the example of Awesome Gamer, you'll get to the point where you'll be able to do that kind of video production and the cuts and the quality will come up and up. And don't let it stop you. Don't let it be an excuse. Do it.
Yeah, especially I found helpful in anything I do. Make friends with film students, suck up to rental houses. Rental houses love to have volunteers sweep out a warehouse. And you can find some good deals if you just need a camera for a couple days and they're not using it. Like, there are people out there in the world who have the things you need. All you need to do is let them know that you're valuable. So I think that's a really important thing out there, is a lot of people don't do, is like, if you're in Vancouver, there's like 8 places here that consider themselves film schools. Go to one of them, tell people that you'll be a grip, tell people that you'll help bring food up to a room, like make friends with these people, and those are going to be the people that stick by you with and make amazing, crazy videos, like the ones we featured here. So I just want to thank again to everybody coming out to Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo. Please make sure you go and watch their amazing shows if you haven't already. And yeah, any last thoughts, guys?
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you so much.
You love it. I look forward to looking at 5 different angles of this later on YouTube.
I'll try to get it up first.
Okay, yeah, make it a race.
Amazing race.
We will be in 15 minutes having a panel in here about the video game crash of the 80s, in which I will insist to talk about E.T. So, we got a 15-minute break, everybody. Please refresh your drinks, get some food, tip your wait staff generously because they put up with a lot of nerds today. And thank you very much.
I want one of those too. Hold on. So far, I hate Oh boy, that was good. Yeah.